Hi everybody, this is Rich Gibbons with SpeakInc, and today we are here with CEO of Figure Eight Thinking and creativity whisperer to the C-suite, Dr. Natalie Nixon.
Hey Rich, thank you for having me.
So Natalie is just fresh off the stage from a phenomenal event in front of 500 professionals in the event marketing realm, and I think a great barometer for how engaged and connected an audience is. You watch what they do with their smartphones, and at the end of your program, you said, hey, there's a QR code here. Every single phone went shooting up, and everybody was so engaged. So you really had a good connection with the audience.
Well, thank you. I really, first of all, I always love talking about how to make creativity not a nice to have, but a must have. Right. And especially to this group of event marketers who are, really have an important role in companies. And we were talking today about the business ROI of creativity. So I'm glad that they found some value in what we were talking about today.
They absolutely did. We've been sort of last 10, 15 minutes kind of wandering around the open spaces, and Natalie is being flagged down and told how wonderful her program was. The thing that really struck me, because I'm running counter to your advice here, but I am kind of the least creative person on planet Earth. And what you said, you did kind of do that finger wagging thing that artists, musicians, actors, like they're the creative people. But as you were talking, I was thinking about these people in my business orbit and circle who come up with these solutions that I never would have thought of.
No.
And the commercial value and the gambits they create are really creative and have enormous value.
So first of all, time out. You are creative,
time
right?
Time is called.
Yeah, time is called. We are all creative. We are all hardwired to be creative. And I really struggled with convincing people of that as I shared in the early stages of building Figure Eight Thinking, because you would hear comments like, oh, the creatives will take care of it after we do the important stuff like financial documents and operations.
All the left brain stuff.
Right, and we now know that that dichotomy is a bit false. Mm-hmm. Creativity is really about the mashup, it's about the remix. And so when I talk about creativity as toggling between wonder and rigor to solve problems, what I'm really trying to convince people of is that the best accountants and coders and lawyers and farmers, etc., are super creative when they're doing this toggling. And I think there's a difference between being an artist, which requires a lot of work and training and time on task and incredible imagination, and being creative. Artists are exceptional at investing the time and the space to developing the creative capacity. But like, take for example, my husband John, he's a lawyer, super creative, and he's at sexy law. He's ERISA, executive compensation law. I'm joking, kind of. Super creative to take a matter, to take an issue, and look at it from multiple various angles to kind of circle the issue. Yeah. That is a creative act in order to reframe it. Right. So that's what I mean when I say we are all hardwired to be creative.
And as you were addressing that sort of kernel, I was thinking of other thought leaders and authors who talk about the way planet Earth is evolving, that if what you do can be routinized and sort of reduced to kind of following the steps on the side of the brownie box, your days are numbered. You need to be, and you also talked about the soft skills, that ability to empathize and connect, and these are things that are
hardcore.
Well, they're hardcore, and you can't just write a little manifesto. This is how you do it. This is how you make the brownies. So that's something that you really emphasize in your program.
Yeah. So here's the thing: we know that basic tasks are being taken over by AI. There's a lot of casualties in the workforce because of that, and that can be an abysmal future if we only focus on that, right? So how I like to reframe it is to say that the opportunity is for us to, number one, hopefully be developing technology that's amplifying what makes us uniquely human. So I love the Calm app. I love the way the Fitbit is prompting us to step away from the laptop and do more engaging activities. But because basic tasks are being taken over by AI, by robotics, by automation, the best companies, the best organizations are going to be the ones that figure out how to make room for the work that requires that specific humanity. Someone said to me about a month ago, AI, yes, we have to admit, is really good at mimicking intelligence, hence artificial intelligence. It's not quite good yet at mimicking human consciousness, which involves memory, which involves the sense making that's related to our intuition. And we know that a lot of strategy is informed by that human sense making that's informed by that intuition. So we have to lean into that, in my opinion.
Yeah, so bottom line is we need to come to the table, as humans, Homo sapien needs to come to the table with those things that the computer, the AI cannot, but you can put that AI in your back pocket to leverage it as a tool to springboard what we're naturally good at.
Right, I love that. It's a springboard, it's a co-conspirator, it's a collaborator, it's a catalyst.
Yeah.
It's not a replacement. It should never be used as a replacement. That's making us all fall short of the mark.
Yeah. So one thing that I heard in your program, and it sort of echoes the sort of endorsement and recommendation of a lot of authoritative voices, that if you are just immersed in the binary world of bits and bytes and Outlook and just all of the stuff that we get immersed in every day, and I can feel it by 2-3 in the afternoon. I feel like my instinct, any shred of creativity I have is attenuated down to a blackened husk. And it's shocking to me.
And you don't think you're creative? Listen to your use of words. Your metaphor usage is amazing.
But the amazing thing that I find, and you talked about stepping away and going out into nature and oxygen and being in a very analog, organic world. And I am blessed to be able to go from my office and home to office on a mountain bike through the canyon in Southern California. And it's shocking to me the number of times I'll be halfway to work or halfway home, and I get this instant clarity and answer that I was sort of struggling with for hours.
So that's what I call invisible work, and that's going to be the topic of my next book. My kind of overarching question is, what if we were actually at our most productive when we're not at the desk, when we're not in front of the computer? Because different neural synapses are being activated when you are in motion. Let's face it, Homo sapiens are designed to move. We're not designed to be sedentary. The spinal cord is an extension of the medulla oblongata of the brain, so that when we are in movement and we're letting blood flow, absolutely there's going to be those better, juicier ideas that percolate, which is why even if only you can do is take a 5-minute walk, if you don't have a beautiful through the canyon mountain bike commute, there's so many other hacks that you can do to activate that way of thinking that is super productive.
Yeah. Well, listen, I could talk to Natalie for 4 hours, but we don't have that much. I was about to say we don't have that much tape.
Well,
I'm dating myself. But
bits and bytes,
anybody out there on the interwebs looking for thought-provoking content around creativity, innovation, but just being more effective in a professional setting and really changing that lens, that's the musicians, the artists, the painters, the actors. You dispel that beautifully.
Thank you.
So, Natalie's got game.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon.